So earlier this year, I created my own football club, Red Bull London, and it did pretty well for the channel. So today in FC25, they return RB London, with a big shout out to the mod creator, links in the description, as we're gonna take this team all the way from the depths of English football to the Premier League and hopefully beyond, as the millionaire company has expanded into England, hoping to take London to the Champions League. As here we go, get excited because the graphics and everything have been made, RB London, and here I am as manager, rocking out in the shades and the kit and everything, as I'm very excited for this one, more excited than usual. Here I am ready to take this club on a journey, as it looks like some people aren't very happy with me, but I'm happy with myself, as the first easy objective is each season just one promoted player from the youth academy. Then number 2, a little bit trickier, each season we have to sign one player from London or the surrounding area. So yes, this time I'll get it right. Teams like Watford do count as the surrounding area. I'm sorry I got it wrong last time. As the hard objective, obviously, is to win the UCL title, but keep your eye open for this mystery objective. As one thing I didn't do last time, I didn't get an academy set up straight away because we started with a regen team, and that's not happening this time. We've got a 5-star scout, which we are going to send to England. We're going to start in the UK, as then we've scouted in Ireland as well, and also over in Wales, and we will make our team based on what is found here. As here's our scout reports, I'm going to flick through these quickly, and obviously you get to see the best and get to see the players promoted. As here's what's been found, and at least we do have a goalkeeper. Yes, 50 rated and 5'11". But our best player that we found is a left-wing Irishman, crisping in the kit, which looks crisp. Love that kit. Got a finesse style as well. So we're going to get promoting a few of these players, obviously, and make our first team based on what we have here. As now this is our full team, and we can say it's all young, all promoted ourselves, but there's a problem with this. We've had to promote some very young players. As Lennon, 14, he's in the actual first team, and I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Red Bull not spending money, or are spending money just on the academy, is £9 million to spend, so we can actually strengthen this team. And I don't want all that going on players. I'm sure you can understand I don't want to just go and buy the league, but at the same time, we are a Red Bull team and we do have a lot of cash. So you caught a glimpse of the scouts put out, and also I'm going to go deep defensive. We have got a team of youngsters. I don't want them getting embarrassed, as this is our starting team, and we do need that one London-based player, so we can spend a little bit of money, and I'm thinking we go straight for striker, as the player I want to sign is not Miles Leyburn, it is Daniel Canoe, a youngster at Charlton. The first signing of Red Bull's dominance in England is only 800k, as I'm sure they'll get more expensive, as that is our London-based player. And he won't be the only signing, as we've got Finnegan from Blackpool, Harry Lee of Exeter, and another Charlton lad, Zach Mitchell, the youngster. Solid first window with some academy players already in there, and look at the growth in our players. We've got Lee to a 67, Mitchell to a 64, and Finnegan 66. Can you believe? At the start, I believe each of these was 60 rated. Surprisingly good season with Chris Finn dominant. He's the captain, 18 and already 69 rated. Carnu 68, and then we've got Lee doing well, Finnegan doing well, but when we go to goals, it is Carnu with 20. He's our top scorer, and we've got everybody signed on 3-year deals, so we're doing very well here. Progression into the future. As speaking of progression into the future, if you enjoy the video and the content on the channel, hit that subscribe button. And also hit that like button. We're after 50k before January, as we kept 3 million spare. We were really good with our money, relying on youth, which seems to have worked out. Second in League 2. It is a first season promotion. How have we managed this? Literally how? We've beaten a lot of teams, and where's my club Grimsby? On my days, a 15th place finish. Still a promotion for us. No trophy, but still I'm not too bored. bummed out as we lost 3-0 to Cardiff and 2-0 to Wrexham in the Carabao Cup first round. Out in round 2 as well of the BSM to Stockport, so not a good cup season, but definitely a good League One. Let's talk facts. We've got no one under 23, we've got some 14-year-olds in the squad, and I mean Nicholas, our CDM, is only 15 years old. So season number 2 here with RB London, and it's going fantastically, but the manager rating seems to be critical. I don't get that. Good job we can't be sacked, as we've got a lot of scouts to send out this year. So I'm going to start by going differently. Scotland, we didn't go to last year. And I'm going to pick Moldova. That interests me. What can we find there? As the final one, Haiti. I'm just trying to go different with countries, as we do need our one youth player, and I'm pretty sure we'll get more than that, as we've got £40 million and we do need our London-based player. As for now as well, everybody is signed up in this team, and I feel like we'd be stupid not to sign our player in a centre-back position. And it's brilliant having the budget we do. Of course, we are a Red Bull team, but I'm still going to be shrewd with business. Matty Pollock, probably my expensive signing. A player based around London. I know now Watford isn't in London, and I absolutely love this man. He did play for Grimsby, so I'm going to try and pull this off. Oh, but he doesn't want to relocate. No, that's going to be an issue. Of course, we are still a small club, as instead of maybe looking up, what if we looked down again? Going to the league we just escaped from for Riley Harbottle. Gonna try and bring him in, as in the meantime I've changed some positions around. This Kai Green guy, he's a 63 as a winger. As you can see, a lot of drills has finished for players, and I'm gonna just keep improving the players we currently have at this squad, as season 1 went very well. And season 2, only to get better with this signature of Harbottle, shoring up our defence with a good signing from the league below. As there he is at the back. Now we've got to keep this team in the league, which is going to be a difficult challenge, yes, even with signing a good player. So I'm thinking Roberts, maybe we loan him, because I don't want to get rid of a youngster, but a 62 rated, not really going to cut it at this level. So I'm going back to League 2 for a relegated Shrewsbury man in George Nurse, who has cost over £1 million. And I don't like spending that much because we have still got 11 million left, but I don't want to do a Wrexham, MK Dons, all those teams. I don't want to spend silly money. Now, no offense to them teams I've just mentioned, but I want to rely on youth, and I want to rely on the squad we have. You have to jog before you can sprint. Take your time. Grow your own players. That's why we're loaning Phillips, Kirk, and Lennon to grow them. And of course, let more youth players come in. As Radu from Moldova looks brilliant. Same with Coman. We've got Mitchell, Simon, Marin 94 potential. We've promoted as many as we can to replace them players going out on loan. And we need all the players we can to try and survive League 1. As after first season promotion, man, I've just spotted something very interesting. Kanu, one of the top scorers. I'm hoping his rating is high. We've got Casey Keane, 7th on the assist sheet, and Harry Lee 15th on the clean sheet goalie list. That's not actually a good sign, but the signings have been good ones. We've got Harbottle and Nurse growing in our defence. But Finnegan 74, we've got Kanu 75 and Finn 74, who hasn't even played the whole season. Leads me to believe he had an injury, I don't know, as only 12 months on the contract, so right. Players are going to be expiring soon. As Kanu got 25 in all competitions, and yes, only 27 games for Chris Finn, but 10 goals is still bloody amazing. As our out on loan players, they're increasing ever so slightly. We've got Dylan doing okay. We've got position changes to make. And we've got Dylan Roberts. Now, Nurse we have just signed, but Roberts went out on loan and has grown to a 69 rating. Brilliant. As the first position change to make is Radu, he goes +1, an 18-year-old. He does have a very high potential, but I don't know if he'll reach it because we have got this other guy as well. Kai Green, 19, 68 rated already. That youth from season 1, man, just stops us needing signings, as I only wanted to survive. We thrived. 5th, meaning playoff football, but of course we've got to go through the cups first, as we lost in round 2 of the FA Cup to Stevenage, and round 1 of the Carabao to Ipswich, but when we scroll on, it should be, oh no, we've got the BSM trophy next. Unfortunately won by Lincoln, as we did finish rock bottom of our group, but the next one is the playoffs, which we won on penalties. We beat Derby County 5-3, and then Peterborough 1-1 with a 4-2 penalty win, giving us back-to-back promotions. And I actually can't believe it. Season 3, 2 promotions. I mean, this has happened before. I believe Luton Town did it. And funnily enough, in this mod, we replaced Luton, RB London that is, as we've also replaced them in the Championship with £18 million. Now, a lot of money for this level, but I guess it's going to level out when we reach the Premier League, which is concerning. And also what's concerning, no alarm, but the objective, the locked one, is open, and Red Bull are out of money. All their English branches lost money, so every offer from a bigger English club for a player has to be accepted. That means if any Prem teams bid for Kanu, Finnegan, even Chris Finn, we will lose our best players, but we can grow more. Our scouts, I am determined to make better than Brighton's, as the first one's going to Asia, Singapore specifically, second to South America, to Trinidad and Tobago, and final one, sticking in Europe for a Serbian centre-back. Searching for that Serbian gritty centre-back for the Championship, as we're going to sign contracts up, but it won't stop clubs bidding on them. Exhibit A, Carbezas. He has just signed a contract up and got a bid in from Dortmund, but they aren't an English club. Same with Harry Lee, but this one's from another Red Bull club and a German Red Bull club. Why are they trying to ruin their own brand? Leave Harry Lee, the Englishman, in England, as I was going to wait until we lost a player to actually sign one. But we're not losing players, so I'm thinking maybe another centre-back. I'm bored of signing defenders, but them two are too weak. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we've got a few Colombians around the squad. They were already in the academy, as we're gonna try and sign another one. But before we try and sign him, you saw the player, very expensive. We might have to accept an offer. Dylan Roberts from Cardiff. Technically not an English team. They are a Welsh side, of course, but they are above us in the league. You can see they're in 6th, we're in 11th. Losing him on a technicality, but we do have a player in. Simon Garcia. Now we are spending the big bucks. I'm making the big bucks, it seems, as a bid in for Chris Finn. Brentford, of course, we have to accept it, a Premier League club, and he is our best player. We're losing our star youngster. As goodbye to Roberts, and goodbye Finn. I cannot believe we're losing him. He was our club captain as well. And also Cabezas, a bid came in from Bournemouth, ravaging our team. Now we've lost 3 very good players, but 27 million plus a defender already signed, as this is our team now, and it's not looking too good, is it? We're going to swap around a few positions. Now Jovanovic is the captain. We've got Green coming on there. We don't have another right back. So what I'm going to do is get an experienced player from the Championship, Kijana Hoover, who's over in the French League or 2nd Division of France. So we're going to sign him up again on another big fee, hopefully keeping us in the Championship. And if you think I forgot the academy, you are highly mistaken, as Sajid Wei from Singapore, 68 rated, or 67, 18 years old. Not the highest of potential, but he's a very good player. Then we've got Benjamin Bakker of Trinidad, and then Joel Zhu. Apologies on pronunciation, as we've got a few players out on loan do well, but I'm just looking for the man. Where is he? There he is. Why? Or Sajid, if I'm going to call him. I'm hoping he's the next Finn, because we probably do miss Finn, and I just want to survive this year. Will 16 goals from our main man Dan Kanu save us from relegation? Jovanovic, the new captain, did well, as it's a 15th place finish, and that is survival. I mean, we don't go down to the next division, but it's not an automatic promotion, or a promotion at all, which we've been getting, Burnley and Sheffield. Yeah, it's gonna be a big step up, but hopefully we step up our budget next year to fly us up the leagues, as we lost in the FA Cup 3rd round, and the Carabao first to Doncaster at home. Playoff teams are those ones as well. Birmingham back up there. I'm hoping it's Ipswich. just get rid of them out of the league. As the hat-trick of promotions, out the league. I mean, I would like to go 3 out of 4. That would be a brilliant achievement. Garcia's done all right. Hoover's done okay. Lee's done the same as well. But Kanu is the main man. And at least this year, we don't have to sell our best players. So the likes of Edouard, Nicholas, I'm surprised no one bid on him. 17 years old, 72 rated. He was playing first-team football in the professional leagues at 14. A remarkable talent, as it's only 18 million again, so that thin money that we made hasn't been given to us. Bit annoyed by that, but still it doesn't matter too much really, as Latvia's the first place. We've got to keep getting them youth players in. Mongolia the second, and Cuba the third. I want to find another Hernandez, that Hernandez that was at Norwich. This man, he was a really good player in his prime days, so I want to find a player like that, and I want to keep on signing them. As the first one, not really a streets won't forget player, but Teo Adaramola is brilliant from Crystal Palace. Did have a mini struggle with his name, as I'll offer over what he's worth. 3.4 million should be a straight except for Glasner. And that it is. So we do have a replacement for George Nurse. Because let's be honest, Nursey boy, he is 5 years older and he won't last the entirety of the save. And Aramola's from London. Or Crystal Palace, in fact, has £13 million left. And one thing we haven't done much is go outside of the English leagues. As I've been scouting obscurely and found 2 players I really want in Jamil Siebert and Dario Sarmiento. As here's Siebert through the door first, it's probably more crucial to get the defender in. Ooh, but I believe now we don't have enough money for Sarmiento, which is a shock, 3.9 million. And we've only 3 million, so yes, we can't afford him. What a shock for Red Bull. Struggling with their money here, which usually isn't the case, and I would have liked to change Shajiv over, but he won't change for 27 weeks, so we might have to still buy a player. So instead of Sarmiento, we're going to stay looking for a South American, Diego Varela, who's at Sporting KC. He comes into the club actually not putting up a fight at all, but unfortunately finds himself still only on the bench for us as the team, the first team that is, very, very decent this year. But before we actually get rolling, I've just changed my mind. I'm selling Nurse, putting Teo straight in the team, and that is what we're going with. Didn't feel right sitting with no money, so now we've got £3 million, and we do have to promote a youth player in Huslan Chimba. And I can't lie, did fail to get a loan for the youngster, but we failed with a lot of players. Look how many's in the reserves. Marin's a decent player, can play anywhere, and I believe Radu will leave us at the end of the year, as there's a few players leaving us. As look at this, we've got Radu and Mitchell. Actually, only 2 of them, but 2 youngsters I wanted to keep, and it's a shame that they're actually going. As rating-wise, I haven't shown you the team sheet. That will come in due time, but our best players at the club is Harry Lee and Kanu. Then actually a youngster in Casey Keane, a 19-year-old, but just down on this list, Edward Nicholas, 18. As our top scorer this season, looks like Kanu might have been injured because it's Finnegan, the player that we signed from Blackpool. So a very good looking squad. I just realised I didn't show you the starting 11. That is it on paper. That is a Premier League side. But has it had the quality? No, not a Prem side yet. The tactics may be off, as it's a 9th place finish. Terrible, as did we focus on the Cup? Obviously not the FA one. And the Carabao round 3, we gave it a shot, losing to Brighton. And that is about it this season in the Championship. It's not 3 promotions out of 4, but can it be 3 out of 5? And that is the aim, because come on, look at the team, look at the players. Our lowest rated in the Championship is a 75 winger, and is pretty good potential-wise. Our bench is pretty good potential-wise. We could do with a backup keeper and also a backup striker. As you can see, we've got Kanu, 23, 81 rated, but then apart from him, only Lewis and Lavolier, or Lavoy, and we've got players running out of contract again, so we're going to get these signed up and then we're going to spend the rest of the money. £14 million this year, less than we've had previously, and I'm going to send my scouts out straight away, get on with that again. Qatar, Argentina, and also Austria. There are 3 destinations, and I'm hoping to get some good players again. And I've done some scouting previously because I knew what players I needed last season, so I did a little bit at the end, and of course I've prioritised that striker, Idomo Emakhu from Millwall, of course a London-based club, and then we've got Joe Johnson, who was previously of Luton. I think I've already said it, but in this save we've replaced Luton, and also we've got a keeper from the 3rd division of Germany. Desperate to sign all 3, starting with the London one. There's one. Then we've got Joey Boy, very nice, and also Felix Glebhart. Our 9-man bench looking very strong apart from one position, another midfielder. But when I scroll down, we have this man who was out on loan. We is back, and we is going in the squad now. That is a better bench, and that team does not need changing. All that we're doing now is just loaning some of these youth players out. Before we get more in, as there's Lavoy going out to Arabia, and David Kirk actually going permanently to Turkey. And in fact, I was going to list them all, but we've got a lot of loan deals in here. More down here, including Marin, who's just shot up in rating. And like last season, we'll finish up by promoting a few youth players, as will Fink, Daniels, and Castro help us win promotion. Well, I don't know if it's down to them, but I am starting on the league table as RB London have dominated the championship. 101 points, 11 points off second place, so we were fully dominant. The era of Red Bull is here, as I'm guessing our team's very good. And where did we finish in the cups this year? I mean, FA Cup 4th round, we only lost to Tottenham. Oh, but Carabao Cup is stinky. A 3-2 loss to Walsall. Should that really be happening? Well, when you look at the team, you can't help but say no. It is dominant, and I'm not surprised we got 100 plus points. 85 rated, and I can understand why they're high rated because I've just figured out something about this team. As you can see, the oldest player at the club is Riley Harbottle, only 28-year-old still. Our squad is very young. I mean, I thought our 3rd choice keeper was going to be ancient. 27-year-old, over 27, and our youngsters from their loan deals, not really progressing much. We've got Marin doing okay, Baka doing alright, our other striker not so good, but who has striked the most goals? Let's have a look. Of course it's Daniel Kanu, joined with Jovanovic, who we definitely want to keep at the club, and Keane's just playing well. Casey Keane is basically Roy Keane, a younger version. As what can this team actually do in the Premier League this season? Can it go for Europe? As 57 million, it is a Red Bull top tier budget. Whilst we're in the top tier, how fitting is that? Completed our locked objective, completing all our objectives. We just need another youth player through and another player from London. And as I'm setting up my academy, you can see where I'm going right there. I'm just thinking, do we need some older players? As this squad's too young, and the young players are only going to get better, so maybe we bring some old faces in for cheap, like 15 mil each, just to fill places like centre mid, centre back, and CDM, because we only have one CDM, and that of course is Nicholas. Also could do with a winger. Maybe we still go young with a winger, because Green is very good, but we can always strive for better. It's a shout, but for now, I am gonna get one of our oldest players, a 27-year-old Bradley Loco. Spurs do have a better left back, so he's not their highest rated one, and £30 million. That should be a deal. Okay, 42 million. That's a bit steeper, but it's the only position we really need, so screw it. I'm going to accept that. Going mostly all out on a left back because I've had a different thought about the winger position, and I'm going to tell you that shortly. As firstly, Loco, we go straight into that back line. There's now 2 left backs on the bench. I'm guessing we can sell one at one point. As the reason I'm not going in straight away for a right winger is because Green is obviously good, And now White can play on that side. Or Sanjeev, I keep calling him different every time. As look at the wingers. We've got plenty of them down here. We don't need to bring any more in. So with that roughly 10 million we had left, I want a proven CDM in the Premier League to back up Nicholas, an older player, and Højbjerg is the perfect man to cheaply squeeze his way in that position. A veteran onto the bench to mentor really Nicholas, but I think it's the other way around. I think Nicholas will be teaching him. As will his signature teach us we don't need to sign old players? I'm hoping not, as hey, we've got our academy report back here. Chinbatin, who we sent out last year, has been pretty decent. We've got a Qatari right here, and then an Argentinian. But the main one I want to promote is this man from the Dominican Republic, Joaquin Barrera, 17, 94 potential. Unfortunately, couldn't loan him out, but this team, right, centre-back seem an issue. Also the goalkeeper, Harry Lee. I did not expect that rating. Same with most of the players. We've got Finnegan and Kanu, two of our early signings, now 86 and 88. Jovanovic, 88, and then Green, 81. So it is an all-over 80 team, as I'm thinking about someone else. Didn't we sign a centre-back at the start alongside Finnegan and Kanu and Lee, who just didn't work out, really? We did, and it's this man, Zaki Mitchell at Cadiz. Sorry, my friend. I really wanted you on the journey, but obviously not good enough when you compare him to these kind of players, and Nicholas did get injured. 5-week injury. Same as Kai Green, as where is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg? His contract runs out in 1 month. Great. He's not staying long, and he's not really contributed. Then again, I don't really expect that. Our wingers do the best alongside our striker. Carnuers, come on Højbjerg, just sign another year up, please. As yes, he does. Right, now we don't need another CDM. As I have a plan for next year, and I don't believe it, with their 8th in the Prem. Right, I expected a good season. I don't know if that's Conference League, but still, I will take 8th, but I can't believe who won the league. West Ham United. And that isn't the first time I've seen that happen before in this save, as round of 16 of the FA Cup to West Brom. Defeat, that is, and Carabao round 2 to Grimsby. Now, I don't mind that. Of course, I do support the team. And will we get into this Conference League next year? Right, I'm hoping so, but still, I'll just have to check at the start of next season. And we start on 2 million, which actually isn't good, because our budget's going to go down. I think this year it was 57. And I have a player in mind that I really want to sign to this team, and it may take selling Green to get that man through the door. Yeah, 41 million is not going to afford the player that I really wanted to sign, as now I do think about it. Leipzig had Olmo, Salzburg had Okafor, every single Red Bull team just have that marquee player. And what I want to do is obviously get our own marquee player. I want him to be from London, and I want him very high rated. So that's why these are transfer listed. A lot of right wingers you can see, because the player that I do want is a very good right winger. So we'll kiss goodbye to Marin. And also, whilst I'm selling these players, I didn't put Keane on that transfer list. I understand he was there. He did it himself. Oh no, this is Varela, who we're selling for 9.5 mil. And then it should be Marin. But that doesn't look like Marin. But Marin's gone. He has gone for 6 million. Is it going to skip on to another player? Kai Green, there we go. He's gone to Manchester City for 30.7. Great stuff is that transfer. But then Keane, 53.8 million. Why is Keane going? Honestly, I'm sick and tired with these release clauses hiding themselves in contracts. Stop putting them in game. I guess it comes up when negotiating, but it's all fancy jumbo mumbo, and we've got 128 million pounds, I guess. Where I really wanted this guy, Bukayo Saka, and he's at Liverpool as well, so he's not from a London club. This window's going to be hard, but I really want Bukayo Saka, so we're going to try and sign him, and then maybe a midfielder from London. 100 million slot. Accept it or reject it. How do you expect someone to pay that much for Bukayo Saka? Well, me, really. I've paid 120.2. Why am I being so stupid? Why am I chasing Saka around? Especially when it's cost that much money. And how do we get a London player? Oh my days. I've just made a serious error. Or have I? Because there is Bromley in League 2 and Marcus Dinanga we could get for under 200k. Very dodgy dealing. This is like Man City avoiding the charges. We've signed a player that we're really never gonna use. As there he is in the reserves. Very dodgy business. But hey, we have signed a player from London, and this is what our team looks like. Not a fan of Coman, but if we can just hold on until next season with that front three, I think we should be okay. And also we'll be okay because we can afford just 3 months out of our 5-star scouts going to Ireland. Desperate for the new Keane. I bloody miss you, Keno. Why did you have to leave us? I mean, yes, it did help us afford Saka. And we have Kean Doherty, who looks good. Also Jamie Smith and also George Singh from Fiji looking decent. As this season, it was this man, Coman, who stepped in the midfield. 77 rated from Moldova. Not too bad. As the attack made up for it, a 91 Jovanovic, 90 rated Kanu, and 90 rated Saka. Who would believe these two would be the same? They're both real-life players, of course. And then the defense, the centre-backs, not good, but the rest, fairly decent. And we didn't get Conference League. I didn't show you at the start because I know we didn't. And oh dear, not many goals. Saka with 6. 10 assists is good, but 6 goals. He's outscored by Coman, Kanu, and Jovanovic. Oh my days. I can't believe we see ourselves already 13th. Unlucky for some, definitely unlucky for Red Bull. 13th in the league, the Premier League. Look at this, West Ham's in the top 4. How are we not competing? We've won the Champions League worse off, as we lose in the FA Cup to Derby, losing the Carabao to City, who are of course the eventual winners. As I did promote my youngsters, of course these 3 are the youngsters that we just looked at, and also I'm releasing a lot of younger players. Need to hit them contracts down, and as soon as we do, the money goes up 51 million. I'm sure that was more than last year. Maybe incorrect, and I want to shuffle this squad around a little bit. Right, we need some new centre-backs, and definitely need a midfielder, as that is what I'm going to go for. But before that, I would fire scouts, but I know we lose a bit of money. I'm just going to be doing 1 scout per season now. We're not going to have a standout player, and I'm going to go to Switzerland. They were very decent in the Euros, and hopefully we find something good. As first off, we've definitely got to take our scouting off Bromley. Get back to the Premier League or Championship, anything there. I mean, there is a good player at QPR because we want to make our signing from London, Lucas Suarez, but he's a right mid, not centre mid. Rather have a central midfielder, and I've found the man already, Chris Rigg, the wonder kid in real life at Brentford. Final year of contract, so I'm just going to offer under his evaluation, as he should be in a minute. But before that, we're selling a player. Jamil Siebert, the centre-back, got a ludicrous offer from Chelsea, mean 33 million. Is he really worth that in the market? I don't think so, but I think this guy is at 24, 84 rated, Chris Rigg. Leaving us 37 million to go ahead and find a defender, and we don't have to look in London, so I actually might leave the country. As I'm looking at you, Levi Colwill, ex-London, of course Chelsea, a left-footed centre-back and very greedy for high wages. Going into the defence, and that is in a lot better, or should I say more well-rounded team. The lowest is the other centre-back, Garcia, but with the money, only £16. We're not going to get a better one in. We've just got to do with what we have. Oh, and having no more money means unfortunately our scouts can't work, but we do have players in the academy, which we can promote for our 1 youth player. And I'm gonna pick Alexandra. We're going with a lot of Fiji players this time round. Seriously, 13th would be a disaster with this team. We've got 490 rated. A lot of decent ratings as well. I don't like the fact too much we phased out a lot of regen players, but we do still have 2 in the team, in Nicholas and of course Jovanovic. Also a lot of younger players that are decent, kind of fringe players, like Coman's still a fringe player, and Sanjeev, who I thought would be better. Same with Ludovic Bernard as our top scorer this season. Jovanovic, our winger, 29 goals himself. And he's only 24, as look how we've done it. We've gone from 13th all the way to the top of the Premier League. Absolutely buzzing. I mean, there was 3 teams joined on it. Goal difference did it by 4 goals over Man City. Unbelievable result, as hey, we do not go alone. We are the best team in England. Red Bull has gone dominant. Oh my days, it was almost a treble in England, beaten on penalties by Man City, but still, we've done a dirty double. Time for the Champions League next, which of course we're going to be in, as the final this year was won by Barca over Manchester City. Now we know we're better than Man City. The squad looks amazing, don't it? But I have got a bit of bad news, as those 3 players are leaving the club. And yes, it is sad news that we do lose this man. He's going to Brentford. This time, he's leaving for a different London club. The opposite of our business, as we do have 143 million. His contract being cut has gave us that money. Still, I would rather have him, and he's in the team for another day, as it's this man the culprit, Colwill. His contract was double any other player. He was an absolute ball ache to get signed, and of course Finnegan, we couldn't pay for his contract, and hence why he's leaving, as we've got some options to steal from Chelsea, because of course we need to steal from a London club, and Chelsea finish 9th. Pedri doesn't finish 9th, and also Dennis Russo. I think if I bought this guy, it would be a little bit too much from us. So Pedri instead in his final year of contract. So if we could get him for less than 100 million, I would be pleased. Oh, but no, they won't even accept 139 million. So we've got to go and look elsewhere. And I don't think we're getting that other 90 rated. So instead, Spurs. Spurs have been very nice to us. A couple of decent midfielders, but they are CDMs. Or this guy actually isn't CDM. Alessandro de Oliveira. I think if we do get this man in, we'll definitely need another centre mid. Not strong enough on his own, and we have slightly overpaid for him. So I'm going to bring in this guy, Lanzare, for a little bit cheaper from Hoffenheim. And Francolino, a striker I very much like in this game. To make sure we've used our money up on a very strong bench. And of course, a first team as Oliveira next to Rig. And also, this man, Ajimang, is actually from Sierra Leone. That matches Daniel Kanu. Now, it's not every day in a rebuild you see 2 players from Sierra Leone, but we've gone and done it here. Weird move, as we've got to make a weird move with the academy. Going to the USA for a very specific player. They've had their luck with keepers. Friesel, Howard, of course Brad Guzan, who is a legend of the English game. And I don't know if you noticed, we didn't have a backup keeper, so this man, Shane Smith, it's gonna be your lucky day, as he's one of the luckiest goalkeepers to ever exist. I know he hasn't got any sharpness, so he might not have play. But if he has, he might get Champions League football with this team. And with this bench looking very good, I see a few 80 rateds. And then the main team, absolutely amazing. A load of 90s, and we have stopped just before, or the game before, the final game of the Premier League season, as we are actually in 2nd place, but we still could win this league. We've still got to play Everton. The reason I've stopped it before is because if I keep simming, we miss the UCL final, and I don't obviously want to do that if we are in it, as we win the Community Shield, but we lose the FA Cup 3-2 to Ipswich, but then do reply with a Carabao Cup victory. So that's 1 trophy in the cabinet, and you can see 4th in the league phase puts us straight into the round of 16, where we beat Roma 5-3. Then we beat Arsenal 5-2, and we've got Saka, who could have actually scored against them, as then we beat Inter on pens to reach the UCL final against FC Barcelona, who will not be an easy game, as they were the winners last year. And also commiserations to Leipzig, another RB club like us, losing to Brentford, another London club like us. Or London-based club, as these are all our best players this season. So many 90 rateds. I believe there is 5 right there. And top scorer, wow, Saka, 44 and 21 assists. How is that even possible? He's got to win the Ballon d'Or, as I am going to sim this with Kanu, who is a little bit tired. And that's the Premier League bottled. Not winning that game, oh my days, and Man City didn't win. Could have won us the title, but we want a different one. And that, of course, being that luxurious Champions League final, as the final is in Benfica, Portugal. I hoped it wouldn't have been. I know it can get selected for Wembley, and of course, us being RB London, I would have loved to play near home. But we've got to go to Portugal, where I think we won it last time on FC24, the most successful save I've ever done on the channel and video. As can we win this one? Maybe in better style of the last one, as De Oliveira, the lowest rated. Terrible pass in the middle. And Doy, we've got to chase it again. But they've kept the ball, Barca. And oh my days, what is that, Garcia? It's a good job Loco could clean up, as Lee, he's been here all the way. Same with this man, Kanu, who's pretty tired, but he can't miss the final, turning and twisting, trying to weave his little web, and a ball through to Saka. A man at the back post, I believe it is, Chris Rigg, and it's headed into the net. Little old Chris Rigg scoring against Barcelona from Leeds United in the Championship to London in the finale. Oh, sorry, Sunderland. I'm just thinking about that because he scored against Leeds in real life the other night. But what a header to be 1-0 up. Fabulous, if you ask me, as now Saka. Oh, my days, Kanu. What a ball roll. We're having fun here. If we can get on the ball, it's De Oliveira charging through on goal. Good save by the keeper, but has he handled it? Has the defender hit it on his hand? Or with his hand, as I'm just getting excited now, and that is shocking. Absolutely shocking. Very controversial call, as it is going to be Saka, because I want him to do his little step, and I'm going to go to the left, and the keeper just watches it. Bukayo Saka does the Aubameyang flip right there, as it is 2-0 to RB London, and we look like we are cruising. What a start, and look at Loco, oh my days. Did well to start off with, but then lost the ball, and they've took a long shot, as that's all Barca have had. Oh my days, and they've had that one there. Unlucky for them, though. I think we've been fairly dominant first half. Yes, one goal was a penalty, but you need that luck, and we definitely got it, as De Oliveira, wow, running through the middle. He's been a great player. Less said about his pass, but for his rating being the lowest, here he is, picking up on the ball, teaching Richards a bit of a lesson, as he's not in his position. Colwell not in his position, coming forward, looking for Kanu. That is a terrible chip ball. Definitely overcooked, as now Bukayo Saka. Look at that for a spin. Bukayo Saka running in, needs a skill move, goes around the defender. Not really where I want him to go, though, and the ball's still glued to his feet. Still, the game's almost over. Just need to get that extra goal. Don't let Barcelona through. Navas into Mendonça. Very nice block in the end, as now Jovanovic with the Haaland run, running inside of his man and going for the finesse, and that should fall to Saka. Almost did as a corner, and I think we should have won the game. We're going to cross it with Jovanovic. Back post for Garcia. It should have been the keeper's. The keeper moving like it's still there, as the referee moves the whistle to his lips to end the game. A 2-0 win in Portugal against Barcelona marks the end of the road for Red Bull London. In FC25 has put that trophy in our cabinet. Of course, orange ribbons, because we do replace Luton. That's the third time I've said it now, as Jovanovic to lift that title. Very nice, and again, all credit to the mod designer. It is in the link down below if you want to use this on PC only. Make sure to show him some love, and of course, as always, if you do have any suggestions, leave them down below.